25 years of fearless journalism. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Kokomlemle at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including A1 Radio in Bolgatanga, Volta Premier in Ho, and Radio Wa. It's also on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, and Telesol 4G. Just a touch. In this edition, water shortage hits parts of Accra and Tema as Ghana Water Company shuts taps. We are live on the ground with our reporters. The Deputy Minister of Health dismisses skepticism about 100% jump in Ghana's COVID-19 recoveries and says the records reflect the reality on the ground.
In every jurisdiction where this has happened, the firms that are deemed fit and proper to continue business have received an injection of liquidity.
We'll bring you details of this, plus the latest on the Malagasy tonic touted as cure for COVID-19. And later, all about the miracle apple tree in the Ashanti region town of Yamwase. It turns out it may only be a fig.
The apple has just this thick mesocarp with a long peduncle and then some seeds attached to it. And then that will be sitting in the pericarp. But that is not the story for this fruit that we just cut.
We'll hear from a scientist all about it. And in sports,
Black Stars B assistant coach Gordon Atram calls on the Ghana Football Association not to cancel the Ghana Premier League.
And on Spotlight today,
I believe in something that whenever there's a song that's produced, there's a reason why God gave you the song. And my thing has always been to spend more time praying and trusting God that when the song is out, it would accomplish the purpose for which God gave me.
We shine a light on award-winning gospel musician Joe Mettle, who is redefining the music genre and leading God's flock. He's however been trending. We'll tell you why. All that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Please stay for details. And there are reports of shortage of water in many parts of Accra and Tema. Residents of communities including East Legon, Spintex and Sakumono say their taps have been closed for days, if not weeks. My colleague Mami Esi Nyamiche Thompson has been to some of these areas and here's what she found.
I think 5 days now. Water is not flowing.
And how are you surviving?
Sometimes when it's flowing like that, we get gallons and then, what do they call it? Bowls, and so we just fetch water inside. So we use that water is there. It's about, it can be there like 3 months, 4 months. When the water is not flowing, then we'll start using it.
Okay. But when the water went off 5 days ago, has there been any explanation from the water company?
No, we haven't had anything.
So Justice, how are you?
I'm fine.
How old are you?
I'm 12 years.
Okay, so what's happening this morning? Where are you going?
I was going to fetch water from last 3 days. Our tap was closed because we don't have water from the Ghana water. We don't have summer. So all of us, we go and fetch water. You see my dress now, I'm wet.
Okay, so where are you getting the water from?
We are getting it from this place, Auntie Mary's Corner.
Are you paying for the water?
No, so, the last Saturday when I was going to fetch water from Aveno Junction, there is some woman there. The woman told us that it's 20 pesos, and then we told the woman that they said that we should don't pay the water, but it's free. And then she said that we should leave there and go.
So how many buckets of water do you need a day?
I need like 6.
So you go on how many rounds a day to get water for the entire household?
I go like 10 rounds.
So what's the difficulty that you face?
If you don't have water in the house, your body smells bad.
Mami Esi Nyamiche Thompson's interaction with some residents of the areas that she visited. She's joined us on the line. Mami Esi, let's go through the particular areas that you went to.
Yes, so Emefa, with the sounds that you just played, this guy is in Kokomlemle, where they haven't had water for about 5 days now, and the situation is dire. They are supposed to be walking long distances to get the water to their households for their daily chores. I've also been to Bichile, I've been to Gulf City in Tema, where the brunt of the issue is at. Over there, when we got there, we saw residents holding gallons, what they usually refer to as the Kupo gallons, about 6 or 7, some even having stocked their vehicles to go get water. And they tell us that they haven't received water for about 7 days now. And they haven't received any explanation from the Ghana Water Company as to why the water isn't flowing. So that is the situation now. But what was the interesting thing is that we got to some part of the same area around Gulf City on the Afariwa Road. There are a few homes where the water has started flowing, but the pressure is not high. They are saying that the water started flowing at midnight. So they are getting water in a few homes, about 1 in about 10 homes who are getting water. And my sources at the Ghana Water Company is telling me the problem for the shortage of water is they developed a fault on the main transmission line from Tema to Akosombo. There's a main transmission line that is feeding Tema in some parts of Accra, in East Legon, airport areas, but they've been able to resolve the problem, and people will be getting water maybe by tomorrow. So,
well, Mamiesi, thank you very much. That's Mamiesi Nyameche Thompson. She's been up and about and finding out what the exact situation is. But let's speak to the communications manager of the Ghana Water Company, Mr. Stanley Mate. We are grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So somewhere last week, we know that there was a statement alerting us about the situation in Tema and its environs, but it looks like the issue is a bit widespread. What exactly is the issue with the provision of water?
Okay, so thank you very much for confirming that we have sent a statement to you that we're going to have some repairs at our Tema booster station. Now, what happens is that when we treat the water at Pong, we pump along the Kosovo Tema Road into our Tema booster station and at Tema, and then from there it's distributed again to all the eastern part of Accra. So we had this challenge at our booster station. We needed repairs, so we sent out the information so that people could store water whilst we use some 24 hours to have the problem solved. Now, in the process, we realized that there were some leakages along the transmission line, so we took advantage of the shutdown to have those ones also repaired. And unfortunately, it went beyond the 24 hours into slightly above 48 hours. But thankfully, we've been able to finish all repairs and leakages, and then we are back to full production. Yesterday, we sent out again information that we are done, but some areas will get the water immediately after pumping. Some will need to build up the pressures, and then they can get the water. Now, there are some other areas that we are already managing the distribution in the system. So they have particular days that they get water. They are still going to get on those particular days. So although they've not had water over the weekend, if they are supposed to get water on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday, they are still going to get that water on Tuesday or on Wednesday. Now, apart from the Tema area, Kokom, all other areas that are experiencing some intermittent flow is as a result of localized problems. We've had some leakages and bursts in the system, and we need to isolate those areas before repairs can be done. And that is one of the challenges that we're experiencing around the Kokomlemle area as we speak. Okay. We are hopeful. We're on the ground repairing all those leakages, and we are hopeful that the situation will normalize immediately after we are done with repairs, which I'm sure by close of day today, some areas will experience water.
By the way, Mr. Mate, are you overwhelmed following the announcement of the relief by government?
Sorry, your question again.
I'm asking that is it that your company is overwhelmed with the provision of water following the announcement of relief?
No, not at all, Emefa. We have been doing this from God knows when. It's our job, and the thing is, challenges are bound to occur anytime. So when they do happen, we need to face them and to have them repaired. This is not the first time we are seeing leakages and bursts in the system. This is not the first time.
Okay.
So they may happen.
But this is the first time you are having to provide water for free. That's how come we are asking.
It makes no difference. We are still supplying water, and we are even doing better as I speak, because now we have tankers within the water tanks within the communities, and we are supplying them with tankers so that areas that are deprived can still have water via these water tanks, these reservoirs. Okay, so we are even doing better. And these water tanks that I'm talking about, even after the free water, we still will maintain them within the communities and make sure that they still have water.
So the assurance is that all these areas that are without water will start getting water by close of day today. When exactly?
Depending on how the repairs go. Some of the bursts are quite enormous and would need more than 24 hours, some less than 24 hours. But assurance is that we are at every spot making sure that all repairs are done and concluded with, so the supply resumes immediately after. Let me also give you the assurance that all our treatment plants, as I speak, are functioning without any challenge. Okay, so if there isn't water anywhere, there's just an area that has been isolated. So immediately repairs are done. We'll just open it up, and then they're going to get water.
Okay. We're grateful for your time. As the communications manager of the Ghana Water Company, Stanley Mate. This is the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM, also live on myjoyonline.com. We're also live on Facebook. You can leave your comments there. Now, the Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, says each of the over 500 COVID-19 patients declared cured over the weekend had already tested negative for the virus at least once. Questions have been raised about a jump in Ghana's recovery numbers from 674 to 1,460 in 2 days. But speaking on the Joy News program Beyond the Lockdown last night, Dr. Bernard Okoboy said the figures are only a reflection of the reality on the ground. Maxwell Agbagba has highlights of the program in the following report.
The publication of the new recovered numbers attracted comments from some persons who were surprised about the high recovery numbers of over 500. A special aide to former President John Mahama, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, called for the numbers to be put to strict proof. Minority Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Alhassan Suhini, said the recoveries are a Ramadan miracle. But speaking on Beyond the Lockdown, Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, stated the patients did not recover in 1 day.
If you have 1,000 folks, they are all walking around. They've had their first test, which is negative. All they are doing is that we are waiting to be tagged. Not that they have a problem, but they want to fit a criteria, which is that the second test must be negative. And so, really, you can have 2,000 who are declared recovered. All it means is that their results went through Noguchi or the other labs, and the results are in. So it is not the day they declare the results that they were recovered, they actually recovered, but they were just meeting a criteria.
An article by fact-checking website AFP challenged claims that Ghana has administered more COVID-19 tests than any other country in Africa. According to AFP, available statistics they found indicate Ghana comes behind South Africa and at least 2 other African countries. Dr. Okoboy stated Ghana is part of the top countries in Africa undertaking rigorous testing.
We've jumped from about 1,500 to at least 5,000 a day. This is the graph that should make us proud as Ghanaians, that on the continent we are standing with 2 or 3 showing the way, and the whole world appreciates that. This issue of but South Africa came before you, or you are just behind Mauritius.
Because we were told clearly that we are leading when it comes to testing in Africa.
Absolutely.
We may be part of those who are doing the testing.
The graph is so loud.
Of course. But it does not mean that we are number one, are we?
Absolutely. But my point is that there are 54 countries on the continent. You are a citizen of a country that is part of the first 3. Now, for me, our argument should not be whether we are one of the 3 or we are on the first of the 3 or the second of the 3, but 54 countries. We are part of those showing the way.
The COVID-19 Risk Communication Director, Dr. Dacosta Abuaji, admonished Ghanaians to rather focus on the progress being made.
We should be discussing the control measures, how what are we going to put in place for the country to ease the restrictions as we move forward? And whether the president said this or that is not, but let's look at the positives from what we have actually achieved.
There had been concerns that the coronavirus would weaken the country's already fragile healthcare system, but the director of the Institutional Care Division of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Samuel Kaba Akoria, says the country's hospitals have not been overwhelmed yet.
So our hospitals are safe. They are actually the places we want people to go to for care. Our COVID-19 cases are in designated facilities. Our health system has not been overwhelmed yet, and our health facilities are absolutely free for attendance.
Many have lauded the country's health personnel for playing a tremendous role in the fight of COVID-19. He says the best gift Ghanaians can give to frontline workers is to respect all health protocols.
Highlights of Beyond the Lockdown show on the Joy News channel. The next edition is on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on the Joy News channel and across all our platforms. Now, exclusive details from report of autopsies conducted on some COVID-19 bodies at the East District Hospital shows significant number of the deceased did not die of COVID-19 but comorbidities, either other health issues. The autopsies were done to establish the actual cause of death of the patients to informed treatment options. Leader of the COVID-19 test team in Ghana, Dr. Samuel Kaba Akoria, said many COVID-19 patients have died because case managers do not administer the right treatment.
From what we've seen, we don't have so many cases yet to build a big case and say this is general. But for the little we have done, what has come out, some people actually die of COVID, meaning that actually it's the COVID that killed them. Some die with COVID, meaning that COVID is not what killed them, but they had it in them. So you might have a case that is positive of COVID. It doesn't mean the COVID is what killed the person. Because we realize that in some case, it was actually the comorbidity that killed the patient. When you have a patient, for instance, who is hypertensive, who is diabetic, or who has kidney disease, and we've come to realize that if you treat that primary disease very aggressively, the person stands a chance of surviving. As to surviving the COVID, as in, if the beginning we are all afraid, he has comorbidity, it will complicate this. This time we say, okay, he has comorbidity, let's attack the comorbidity strongly, address the COVID as well simultaneously, but pay a lot of attention to the comorbidity. Once we get that fixed, he is now developing like any other patient with COVID, which we know that very few die.
That's Dr. Kaba Akoria. He's the head of institutional care at the Ghana Health Service. Now, COVID-19 will put 85 million children at risk of physical, sexual, and emotional violence over the next 3 months as vital isolation measures force them to stay at home. Ghanaian children are at risk as already cases are being reported of parents and guardians abusing children at home.
The 10-year-old boy who was seen in severe pain was sent to the Amanfrom Polyclinic for medical attention. He has since been released to his mother as police continue with the investigation. Police will use this platform to appeal to guardians, parents, not to transfer their anger to the children, and the police will make sure he is processed before the law court.
That's the SPA Fiatinga. She speaks for the Greater Accra Region Police Command. Now, Gregory Derry is Director of Social Protection at World Vision Ghana. He joins us on the line. They've been studying this. Thank you very much for your time here on the Midday News, Mr. Derry. First, what's the link between COVID-19 and abuse of children?
Good afternoon to your cherished listeners. Like you mentioned, I'm the Gregory Derry, Child Protection and Advocacy Manager. Just for purpose of correction. Yeah, so with the advent of COVID-19, we have seen an upsurge of numbers of children who have been abused in various forms in the country. Globally, same. According to a World Vision report that was just released, about 85 million children are being abused in various forms. Under normal circumstances, when we are in the normal period, we see violence against children going as much as 1 billion. Just to give a background. In Ghana, as a child-focused organization, we have been working with the community And the number of cases that are coming to our attention because of COVID, as we all do know, children are home, schools are being closed, so a lot of things are happening. We have recorded a number of cases, if I may mention a few of them, child marriage, a number of cases that are coming up. I can mention 4 that have come from one district up north where we work, rape, defilement, sexual, other forms of sexual abuse.
Of course, and the list goes on and on, but in this period, we have been told that we have to live with the virus. How then do we protect children in that regard?
Yes, so for us as an organization, we believe that one way we can protect children is to get parents to be informed or be educated on how to live with children as they live at home. Because when parents go through stress, particularly as economic situation has slowed down, people have lost their jobs, then it begins to create a kind of tension at home. Okay, and this tension is translated either into physical assault of children or parents thinking that, let's let go our daughters in terms of marriage so that we reduce the burden of care and also find alternative resources to take care of the other children.
Well, it's a good time for parents to pay particular attention to their children. That's a Gregory Derry. We're grateful for your time. He is in charge of child protection and advocacy at World Vision. You're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Out of stories, we've been looking at water shortage that hits part of Accra and Tema, as the Ghana Water Company is giving assurances that that will be resolved soon. Still to come, all about the miracle apple tree in the Ashanti region town of Wiamwase. It turns out it may only be a fig.
The apple has just this thick mesocarp with a long peduncle and then some seeds attached to it, and then that will be sitting in the pericarp. But that is not the story for this fruit that we just cut.
We'll hear from scientists, and later we shine a light on award-winning gospel musician Joe Mettle, who is redefining the music genre and leading God's flock. He's however been trending. We'll tell you why.
I believe in something that whenever there's a song that's produced, there's a reason why God gave you the song. And my thing has always been to spend more time praying and trusting God that when the song is out, it would accomplish the purpose for which God gave me.
Bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's do Huntsman Sando here, sports.
Now, Celtic have been confirmed as Scottish Premiership champions for the 9th season in a row after the SPFL ended the season. The decision was taken at a board meeting this morning after the 12 clubs agreed at the end of last week that completing the campaign was unfeasible. Here in Ghana, Black Stars via assistant coach Gordon Atram thinks the Ghana Premier League should not be cancelled as suggested by many followers of the game. Atram, who managed Great Olympics last season, wants the league organizer to take a cue from Germany and resume the league if need be.
Very well. People were going to stadium like it used to be before. I've been watching most of the matches because of the scouting of players for the national team with my head coach, Coach Tanko. Each and every day I'm at the stadium, even Kumasi and everywhere. The league was good. It was really bad. 2 years we did not play. We started half of the season, almost half COVID came in. But what I'm happy today that the real gents in the world, they have started playing football today. That's Germany. So if Germany is playing football today, they are the whole mentor in the world. You talk about football. people are dying there and everything, and they have started and decided to play football today, then I believe that football must come back.
Gordon Trump speaking there on whether or not to cancel the Ghana Premier League. That's your sport.
Thank you very much, Hans. Now, the National Identification Authority says it will resume data capture for the Ghana card only when it is safe to do so. The authority stopped the registration process in the eastern region following the coronavirus outbreak and a court action. The NIA has said its data may be used by the Electoral Commission in the issuing of voter ID cards. But speaking on the Prime Morning Show, Executive Secretary Professor Ken Atifa laid out plans for the registration of the rest of the population yet to be captured.
As soon as the assurance is that as soon as it is safe and we are able to go to the field, we will go, complete the good work we started in the eastern region. Okay. It are not political. We had finished the whole country. We were just left with the eastern region. We'll go and finish. We will distribute the cards that have now been printed that we couldn't print earlier, and those that we couldn't issue. We will issue. We will go to Bono East, Ahafo, Upper East, and Upper West. These are 5 regions that had the lowest registration figures. Okay. All kinds of reasons for that, but we'll go back there and Greater Accra, do mop-up, issue the cards that we have used the lockdown period to print in safety, and let Ghanaians get their cards. It is the least we can do. The value, the tremendous benefits of the Ghana card are so huge that we must be in a hurry to let people come. But we must do so in a manner that preserves the integrity of the determination, the citizenship determination process.
That's the Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority, Professor Ken Atifa, speaking on the Prime Morning Show on the Joy Prime channel. Now, over the weekend, the story of an apple tree growing and bearing fruits in the Ashanti region town of Wamwase went viral on social media. The interest in this story was because apples are often grown in temperate regions of the world and may hardly do well in the tropics. Well, an expert at the KNUST says the fruit may not be an apple after all. She's been speaking to correspondent Kwesi Deborah, who first went to the town of Wamwase and joins us on the line with more on this. Deborah, describe to us how this fruit looks like.
Yes, first of all, the fruit is more of a guava. When you look at the skin and when you touch the skin, it's more like a guava. It's rough and also like a pear. It's also rough at the back. But we went on to cut the fruit, and when you cut the fruit, the seeds are distributed inside, almost like a guava. So it's kind of a guava-like, but this is not having the usual round shape, but it's having a bit of dent around the size. But so that's how the fruit looks like.
Did you taste it?
No, I couldn't, because when you cut the fruit, in the first place, you're having a very thick substance coming out of that, like latex coming out of it. And it looks more inedible. So
okay.
That's how it looks.
But you've been interacting with a scientist on it. What have they been telling you?
Yes, I've been interacting with a senior lecturer at the Department of Horticulture, KNUST. That's the Faculty of Agriculture. And that's Dr. Irene Aidan, and she tells me that looking at the fruit, at first instance, you might say that it's a pear, and with the way it's rough. And this is a case where it's developing, so you might not be able to tell it's a mature fruit, so it's a young fruit, but it looks like a pear in the first place.
You know, we went further and even cut the fruit into 2. And its internal formation doesn't also resemble that of an apple, because the apple has just this thick mesocarp with a long peduncle and then some seeds attached to it. And then that will be sitting in the pericarp. But that is not the story for this fruit that we just cut.
So
that's Dr. Irene Aidan, scientist at the KNUST. Becky is here with entertainment.
A lot
trending today.
Yes, so
Joe
many
Mettle.
things. Yeah, but Joe Mettle, he is an award-winning artist redefining gospel music in ways that appeal to people across all levels of society. Joseph Oscar Ni Ama Mettle, better known as Joe Mettle, believes through his music, God will cause change in people's life.
I did marketing in school, so I'm able to sometimes adapt some of the ideas and things and add it to the image or the brand. And
A marketer by profession, a worshipper by calling, that's how he is described, and it is no surprise the Bononi hitmaker has risen to become one of Ghana's leading ministers in the gospel genre.
We've all come to understand the direction of what God wants us to do and where we're going and path we're supposed to walk. So we all work in it. Whatever we do meets at the same point and is able to produce the results that God wants us to produce.
The story of how he started off has been told, but Joe Mettle values the experiences he gathered while as a backing vocalist for some of Ghana's gospel greats, including Cindy Thompson and the late Danny Nete.
It was more of meeting him and he's saying, okay, you know what, I like what you do, just let's go work on this project. And then that's how it started for me.
I am who I am because of you. If it had not been for you.
Those experiences have proved valuable to what he has become, a minister whose ministration literally brings down the heavens. Here is what inspired the Onwanweni composer in his work, culminating in 5 albums and multiple popular groovy singles.
Sometimes the inspiration around you, situations that happen around you, conversations you have during the place of prayer, it can be from a sermon. I believe in something that whenever there's a song that's produced, there's a reason why God gave you the song.
He believes God deserves the best. In 2017, Joe Mettle was crowned VGMA Artist of the Year, sparking some controversy with dancehall artist Stonebwoy claiming the award for himself. Here's why the My Everything composer has been trending the last few days.
I don't want people to say Joe Mettle Kwani gospel musician. The real Joe Mettle, no Joe Mettle undo when it comes to
Joe Mettle undo we do a and we'll prefer the Methodist hymn if it brings down the spirit of God. Joe Mettle, keep at it. He's on the spotlight. And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Emefa Apawu. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com.